Hey guys, it's Matt Z again, and another show, another podcast about trading. So today I am going to talk about when you are going to be most susceptible to losing money. And what I mean by that, I mean a point of weakness where you are going to experience psychologically something very difficult. And it's very hard to get out of that psychological thing unless you're very conscious of it, right? So I always tell traders that they have to be very conscious of their state of mind, and that's what's going to help them throughout their trading career or as part-time. So when are those two things happen? They happen in two events. When you make a lot of money from a trade and when you lose a lot of money in a trade. Clearly, it's easier to understand when people lose money, they go into vengeance trading, and everybody knows that. And, you know, the willingness to basically to make or I shouldn't say willingness, but rather the will or the desire to make your money back or to turn a small loss into a break even, a bigger loss to a smaller loss, or a very small loss to potentially a gain. This is where you basically lose yourself a little bit. And it's really easy to get into that state of mind. It's not a state of mind that you control your actions anymore. Rather, it's becoming very impulsive. And although you are the one pulling the triggers on the buy and the sells, it's totally outside of your trading plan. So it's very important to remember when you have a loss that you experienced, whether it's a small loss or a bigger loss, it's important to take a little bit of a break, evaluate the situation. And I'm not telling you not to trade after, but if you continue to trade, just make sure that you trade according to your plan and not according to some impulsive of wanting to make your money back. The same thing happens when you win big on a trade. It's important also to kind of rebalance yourself. And when you rebalance yourself, again, you go back to a state of mind where you're clear about your decision making and about your trading plan, right? So winning and losing can be both overwhelming. They're totally two different feelings when it comes to the loss is always bigger. It feels always more impactful emotionally than a gain. But nevertheless, in both, you will develop something that would make you become more impulsive. So again, in losses is when you want to make your money back. When you're making money, you're saying, I could make a lot more. And it's easy to step from one to another. So, for example, you can be in a winning trade or you got out of a winning trade, and then all of a sudden you turn a big winner into a loser. And now you're in the losing state of mind and you make it even worse than what it was. So, again, it's easy to step from a winning into losing and lose yourself again and cause even a bigger loss. Many of the traders who trade for a long time, and those are the ones that I usually get my feedback from, or at least I try, and from my own trading experience, it's happens. I mean, one of the bigger losses occurs usually after a win. And I don't want to come and say, that people are becoming arrogant or people are too sure of themselves. It's not. It's really natural instinct that occurs to say, I can do it again. So what happens? Okay. You overlook things. So when you win, and I'm saying you're out of a trade, right? And you made it big, and it might not even be a trade that you expected to win big. It just happened. What will happen many times during that process when you trade again, you might overlook things or neglect things. For example, you have a certain trade setup and you're waiting for that setup and you're saying, okay, I won money, but I'm in an okay state of mind, but you still have to be very conscious of that, because what I've seen is people actually waiting for a setup to occur And sometimes they think the setup occurred, and it really didn't, because they were just so eager to get in. Now, some are just impatient, saying, well, this trade setup, will develop the way I want to, which is totally impatience, and it should be avoided at all cost. But sometimes people innocently, and when I say they make a mistake, they think that a trade setup have occurred, and it didn't, because they were just so overwhelmed by the win. And that's when they give a lot back. And the same thing might happen to you on a loss. There is some people who will have a complete loss of their, I would say, concentration, let's say, and some would still stay somehow focused, but again, they would be so eager to make their money back that they will start looking for setups, and the setup is not there, and they're convincing themselves that it's there, and they just act on that. So both actions could really affect you, and you have to be conscious. So what do I do, right? So what advice would I give to you if you ever get into a situation like that? Look, if you're on the losing side and you reach the level of capital that you lost that is really not acceptable, just stop trading. Just stop. You just can't think of the day as the last day of your trading career. It's not. You will have bad days. It's natural, and it will happen. It is what it is. And hopefully over time, you will learn to recognize those feelings when they take over. You'll take a deep breath. You'll do the 5-second rule, right? So and your balance and your chemicals will balance themselves. That's the 5-second rule that I suggest everybody should do it when they trade. So that's my advice on the losing trade. On the winning trade, obviously, if you think that you're in a state of mind, again, that you're just slightly overwhelmed, you never had a win like that, or it's kind of new to you, it's okay to stop as well, right? And if you do continue, just make sure that you ignore and you're not overwhelmed by the big win that you had, and you reassess things again on a risk-adjusted basis as you enter into a new trade, as if you've never made money before, right? So that will give you, again, objective concentration. You will look for your setups, and that will help you out tremendously when you actually place your trades. So again, my wish for you guys is really to be always focused on your trading. Always know the state of mind that you're in. And if either one of two extremes happen, whether a win or a loss, now you will know how to act. Now, a little bit of good news. Over time, and again, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that it will happen to everyone. This is, again, my opinion, that what I think should happen maybe, but I believe that it will happen to a lot of traders. You will develop some sort of consciousness about your state of mind when you trade. You should at least gear towards that, to really ask yourself, how do I feel right now? How do I feel right now? How do I feel? Must ask yourself. You get out of a trade, again, 5-second rule of, balancing your chemicals, 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Balancing yourself. Now you enter a new trade. And over time, you will see that you will recognize when you should trade and when you should not trade. Now, sometimes, and this is something that I have to mention, sometimes you become tired. Sitting in front of the monitor all day is a tiring activity. I know we have right now those new screens that don't affect your eyes as much. I forget their names, but you have all those blue screens they block, right? So some sort of radiation, so your eyes are less tired. But nevertheless, it's just the focus on charts in itself for a long time can throw you out of focus, right? Completely, and you become tired. And when you're tired, you don't make good decisions. You really don't. So let's say you have a combination of being tired the whole day, watching the screen, your day is not going that well, and then, you just start trading and you're like, I don't understand, right? I have those setups that don't occur. Even then, you don't judge objectively what you do. Just stop. It's all right. Stop. You have the next day. Same thing happens if you have a really big winning days and all of a sudden you start giving back and you feel that you're tired and it's the day has passed and you have you feeling of fatigue, stop. It's okay. Again, next day, and it will help you. So I always want you to focus on your state of mind and where you are on the day. You're winning a lot, you're losing a lot, and just adjust according to that. That's basically it for this podcast, this vlog. If you are watching this on YouTube, please click the like button. I don't ask that enough, unfortunately, but if you can, please like it and share it with anybody you think you can, will benefit out of it, will benefit from this content. So again, I wish you a really good trading week, and I'll see you on the next podcast and a new video. Thank you. Bye.